Welcome to Sports Talk with RKJ. I'm your host, Steve Risser, here with my co-host, Justin D'Onofrio and Kyle Galuli. And the NBA Finals are set. We have the Toronto Raptors going up against the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors making their 5th straight NBA Finals appearance. The Raptors, this is their first NBA Finals appearance. And the Raptors, we sat here last Thursday with the series tied 2-2. And the Raptors were able to win that huge game in Milwaukee. And then they were able to finish the series beating the Bucks in Toronto. Both really good games. Both games, the difference was Kawhi outplayed Giannis, and the bench of the Raptors was better than the bench of the Bucks, and that's why they're going to the finals. And there's just not much more you can say about Kawhi Leonard. The guy plays. He's arguably right now could be the best player in the world. The way the guy plays on both ends of the floor, and the way the guy scores. I mean, the guy is an outstanding player. We remember at this time last year, where he didn't want to play for the Spurs, and then he ends up getting traded to the Raptors, and a lot of people are kind of questioning the deal because because we all know he's going to be a free agent this summer, and then the Raptors traded DeMar DeRozan, but it's all worth it now with the Raptors going to the NBA Finals, and seeing what happens with Durant and Cousins, they might end up winning the series, but so should be a really good NBA Finals, and I'm really excited for it, Justin.
Yeah, I was way off in that prediction. I had the Bucks winning in 6. So.
I'm right there with you.
I was off on that one, but yeah, Kawhi. I would say Kawhi's the best. I still got KD up there. But he played very well, and since they made that switch from Pascal Siakam guarding Giannis to make the switch to Kawhi. That was the difference with them winning with the Raptors winning 4 straight. And talking about the bench, yeah, Fred VanVleet really stepped up. 21 points in Game 5, 14 in Game 6. So yeah, the Raptors, they only played 3 guys off the bench, but they got over 20 points. So and if they can continue to do that at the bench, they have a very good shot beating the Warriors without KD or DeMarcus Cousins.
I mean, the fact that I think everyone essentially thought that this series was done, down 2-0 for the people thought the Bucks would win it, and the fact that I think the problem is with Giannis is that he kept going back to the same moves over and over and over again, and it's like, okay, like it's it's nice in a regular season. Come playoff time, people are going to learn. They're going to have up to 7 games to figure you out, and then you're going up against Kawhi. Kawhi's not dumb. He probably is the best defensive, player other than, a big man. And he's probably, or you can argue, the best defensive player, period. The guy is a great two-way player. The guy has a great offensive game. He's probably bringing back the mid-range because that seems to be non-existent now in the NBA for the most part. And the fact that it just seemed like Middleton against the Celtics was insane. He was putting in work and just doing, hitting big threes, and seemed like, with Lopez too, that's what was happening. The bench didn't help Giannis, and then Giannis wasn't helping Giannis. He was just not the same, and it came down to clutch situations, showing that shooting, you need that in clutch situations. You can't always drive to the paint because, referees are going to swallow their whistles most likely. If you had to bet money on it, they're probably going to swallow the whistle, so you're not going to get the calls. And even in the free throw line, he's not that great at it. So, unfortunately, I would like to see the Bucks versus Warriors more, but Kawhi stepped up, VanVleet stepped up, and it's just insane how good the Raptors are playing. But this is going to be a good series. I think if Durant doesn't play, the Raptors have a chance of winning. Now, I'll give him a puncher's chance if Durant is playing, just because Kawhi is just that good. But I'm going to think the Warriors will win. But I think we're going to see at least a 6-game series no matter what.
I agree with that, Kyle. And yeah, we'll get to the preview of the NBA Finals. But now I think this series proved that right now Kawhi is a better player than Giannis. I think defensively they're as good. I think that Kawhi is a better shooter, definitely a better shooter. And I think he's obviously better at the foul line. So I think right now Kawhi is a better all-around player than Giannis. Giannis needs to develop a jump shot to be in the top 3. I think the top 3 players in the NBA right now are Kawhi, Durant, and Curry. If Giannis wants to be in that class, he's got to develop a jump shot. He's got to develop a jump shot. So right now, I definitely am taking Kawhi over Giannis.
And I think it's the classic thing of, I think he's going to be the MVP of the league, but I think it's a classic thing of, this guy has a great season, becomes MVP, and this is any sport. And then it comes playoff time, and to the big game, he He wasn't ready for He wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean,
it just is what it is. Fortunately,
the Bucks had a 2-0 lead in that series, and a lot of people were watching Game of Thrones. But in that Game 3, they were up.
I was.
They had a chance to pretty much put that series away, and then they opened the door for the Raptors, and the Raptors won 4 straight. I mean, I think Giannis is a great player. He is a top 5 player in the league, as I'll admit that. But he just has to develop a jump shot to be in that top 3. I'd say right now he's like, I'd say 4. I'd say right now it's I'd still say it's KD, Curry, Kawhi, but all those 3 are interchangeable. I think you go Giannis, then you go LeBron. But I think that
I can live with that.
Yeah, but Giannis had a great year. He's probably going to win the MVP based on his regular season numbers. But this series proved that right now, and eventually Giannis might end up being a better player. But right now, Kawhi is a better player than Giannis.
Yeah, after the series, yes, yeah, I thought Giannis would, but after the series, the way Kawhi really shut him down defensively, Kawhi's a better shooter. Yeah, Giannis needs to come up with something new. Is it at least trying a mid-range game? Was what Kyle's saying? I know that's gone in the NBA. I don't. Too many guys don't do that anymore. But like, who cares? Maybe figure that out. Get your jump shot going this offseason.
You should just strictly practice shooting.
Yeah.
3 points, mid-range, free throws. I don't want to see him in the post.
Yeah, you already
practicing that. Like, you have that. You can, I guess, if you want to polish it off a little bit, maybe, but like, focus on shooting, dude. Because if you can't shoot, unless you're a big man, it ain't happening.
Yeah, because he'd definitely be the best player in the league if he could ever develop a jump shot. Because he would just be so. He's already great, but he'd be on the next level. He could get a jump shot because now you can kind of back off him a little bit at the 3-point line, but he
would be Durant but jacked.
Yeah. So yeah, and he wouldn't be and when he misses a jump shot or whatever, or when he's about to take a jump shot or something, and you guard him closely, yeah, he's gonna take you on the drive all day. So instead of backing off with kind of what Kawhi did,
It seemed like his moves were like the spin move and a Euro step. He loves that, which, yeah, like we were saying, it's nice in a regular season, but in the postseason, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals, you got to come up with at least more than 2 moves.
Yeah, and
I don't care how good you are.
Yeah, and he does not have that right now. So yeah, I gotta take Kawhi for a better player now.
Right there with you.
Alrighty, so let's go get into previewing the NBA Finals. This is an interesting matchup between these two teams. I mean, if you look at the starting 5s right now, obviously with the Raptors, you got Lowry, you got Danny Green, you got Kawhi, you got Gasol, and then you got Siakam, who's probably their second best player. And then obviously the Warriors with Curry, Thompson, Draymond, and we'll see what happens with Durant and Cousins. I think the Warriors were able to get through the Blazers without Kevin Durant, but I think a big reason for that was Curry is clearly a better player than Damian Lillard. I think, and let's not forget that the Warriors were down by double digits in three of the 4 of those games. The Warriors were down by double digits, so. I think that with knowing how good Kawhi is, it's going to be a little bit of a different series, and they're going to need Kevin Durant in this series. I mean, looking at the bench, I think the Warriors a little bit. The Raptors have a little bit of a better bench. Livingston's not been as good for the Warriors, and I think that Fred VanVleet has really stepped up for the Raptors, and that was another big reason why they got by the Bucks. The Raptors bench outplayed the Bucks bench. That was a big reason why the Raptors got by that series too. So I think it's going to be a really good series. I think the biggest key for the Raptors is they got to get Kawhi go. Kawhi's got to have big games. Kawhi can't be getting shut down because, especially if Durant plays, because if Durant plays and Kawhi's getting shut down, they got no chance in the series. If Kawhi can play really well, and play the way he knows how to play, and especially when Durant's out, Game 1 is the key. Game 1 is the key game in this series, because Kevin Durant's probably not going to play. If DeMarcus Cousins plays, he's probably going to be a little rusty. Game 1's going to be that's the game the Raptors have to have. If they don't have Game 1, I think this is going to be a really long series for the Raptors.
Yeah, I think I'm right with you. That Game 1 is huge for them. I think if the Raptors can win Game 1, they could get this to 6 or 7 games. I think if they lose, it may only go 5 games or 4 or 5 games. So yeah, and Kawhi really, Kawhi's got to, without KD there, they got to take advantage without KD on the floor. Who knows how long that could be, but, this is cool. Because Kawhi's probably going to have to get, 25, 26 points like he did. He was averaging about 13, 14 rebounds in the conference finals, something like that. So, getting those doubles, being a beast on the glass is going to really help them out. And then also, Steph Curry, of all the teams in the NBA, his leading point per game average against the Raptors, he's averaging just under 30 points a game. So Curry's had success against the Raptors. So we'll see if it continues. But game one, I think the huge key right now, the Raptors too are like the 1-point favorite too. It's going in. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think Durant. I think they played against Raptors twice this year. Averaged like 41 points a game against the Raptors. So it's, good luck if Durant's playing. Like if Durant's playing, I think it could probably go 5 to 6. I'll say maybe 6, just off of just respect of Kawhi Leonard just being on just another level. But I think if he doesn't play, I think you could see us. I think if Durant doesn't play, it's definitely going 6. I think possibly, 7, especially with. Because I think if Durant doesn't play game one and DeMarcus Cousins does, obviously they're going to want to get him more involved and all that. Like, obviously you want to get that guy acclimated. You'd rather have him get acclimated in game one than have to wait till like game 2 or so. So that could show off the rust. And, the Warriors can make a comeback. Obviously we saw against the Blazers, they did three times, which is insane. But I just think at this point, it's one of those, I feel like it's going to end up being one of those things where it's, obviously it's a cool story. The Raptors, finally make a finals. Obviously, like the whole, all of Canada is behind them. I feel like that could potentially keep Kawhi down the line. And I just think at this point it's too much talent. Yeah, you have Curry, if you want to name the top 5 players in this series, jeez, my words, top 5 players in the series, I think we can all say the Warriors have 4 out of the top 5.
Yeah.
It's Curry, Clay, Draymond, Durant, and then there's Kawhi. And the fact that, and I don't think they have another person like Siakam's good. I'm still taking Draymond over him.
And don't even forget about Cousins if he comes back in the series too. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, so it's like the fact that you have 4 out of the top 5, and I honestly don't think it's that terribly close from 6 to 5. I think maybe right now you could put Siakam 6, but I don't think he's not that close to Clay. He's not that close to Draymond.
I think you could argue he might be better than Draymond right now. In terms of scoring, he might be better than Draymond.
Yeah, scoring-wise, but Draymond just does everything. He does. Yeah, he's more of a complete player. No, Siakam's more of an offensive game for sure.
Yeah, but the thing in the NBA now, it's more about an offensive game, and I think Siakam's definitely averaging more points a game than Draymond is.
Yeah, but when they have with this team that they put out and the schemes that they put out when Durant's not there, I think that just emphasizes Draymond. Draymond gets better with that because it's more ball movement, in which he's a very good ball handler, especially for a big man. But I just don't see a way that the Raptors can win it unless Kawhi just goes banana crazy, hitting 35 to 40 a game, and maybe Curry has some off nights, which, you want to bet on Curry having an off night? No. Want to bet on Klay Thompson having an off night? No. We want to bet on Kevin Durant having an off night? No. Good luck. Maybe Drake's pulling off some voodoo, or on the sidelines. Maybe, I don't know, but it's gonna be a good series. But I just don't see a way the Raptors can win this.
It's gonna be interesting to see Drake on the sideline. It definitely is, especially during the NBA Finals. During the finals, that's gonna be really, really interesting. And
some next level shenanigans probably.
It just shows you that Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins are not gonna play Game 1. Game 1 is crucial for the Raptors to win. If they don't win, the Raptors don't win Game 1, they will not win this series. It is crucial for the Raptors to win Game 1. They won't win the series without winning Game 1. Now we go to position by position breakdown. Point guard, easy. Steph Curry over Lowry.
Yeah.
Then shooting guard, easy. Thompson over
Green.
Over Green. Now the where it's pretty even is at small forward when you got Kawhi Leonard against Kevin Durant. But now if Kevin Durant doesnthis Raptors have the clear edge at that position. Clear edge at small forward there. And then at power forward, this is gonna be a little bit of a surprise. I'm going Siakam over Draymond Green. Draymond Green averaged under 8 points a game this year. Siakam averaged 16. Siakam's he's very underrated. He's one of the better power forwards in the game. Right now, he's a better scorer than Draymond is. I'm going Siakam over Draymond. And then at center, it doesn't really matter that much. Even if Cousins plays, it's obviously the clear edges with the Warriors, but the Raptors might have the edge if he doesn't play, because you have Gasol over like Jordan Bell. So I mean,
whoever they decide to
yeah. So I think the big matchups are, the big matchup to see is when Kevin Durant plays Kevin Durant against Kawhi Leonard in the series, because I think the biggest thing is Kawhi can neutralize Kevin Durant. But here the question is going to be, can Kyle Lowry neutralize Steph Curry?
Nope.
Or Danny Green defensively neutralize Klay Thompson? I don't think either of those things are going to happen. And that's why I think the Warriors win this in 6. Justin, your position-by-position breakdown and prediction for the series.
All right, so point guard, clearly Steph Curry over Lowry. Shooting guard, Klay, obviously over Danny Green. Small forward, yeah, clearly it's going to be Kawhi if Kevin Durant doesn't play, but I do think Kevin Durant's the best player in the league. So if Durant does play, I got to give Durant the edge there. Power forward, I will go with UC Siakam, because I think he's the second most important player in the series for the Raptors, especially if KD's able to neutralize KD, which he's got to be able to. KD? What?
You're saying Kawhi?
Oh yeah, or if KD can kind of slow down Kawhi, Siakam's really gonna have to step up. So I'm gonna take Siakam, then Draymond, and then at center, I will go if Cousins does end up playing, I'll take him over Gasol. If it's Jordan Bell or whoever the heck they throw out there, I'll take Paul Gasol, and I think this will go. I'm gonna say 6 for the Warriors.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you on point guard. I'm taking Curry. Shooting guard, I'm taking Klay. And I think real quick, because you know how Curry never really guards the point guard terribly. I mean, the problem with the Raptors is the fact that you can really just stick him on Danny Green. It's not going to be that terrible of an issue. So you're not going to really be able to exploit that unless you want to get in pick and rolls with Kawhi. But I think if Durant plays, I'm with you. I'm going to take Durant over Kawhi slightly. I mean, it's right there, but not any terrible gap. But I would say, Durant does play. Obviously, Kawhi. I'm taking Draymond just because I don't think Siakam's just not used to this pressure. So I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be like play terrible. I just think just Draymond's going to. Like I said, when Durant's out, he just plays on another level because there's more ball movement. I think honestly, I'm still going to take, even if Cousins play right now, I'm going to take Gasol just for the sole fact. I mean, when was the last time Cousins played? How long has it been? Like, was it before the All-Star break?
No. He played in the playoffs. He was in the playoffs. He got hurt in the playoffs.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then got one thing I hurt. But it's like I got to see Cousins at least be healthy a little bit until I take him. I got to see before I believe it with him. And then I think Durant plays. I'm gonna say the Warriors in 6. I would go with 5, but Kawhi's too good for just to get blown out like that. So I'm gonna say Warriors in 6.
Yeah, it should really be interesting, and these are 2 really good teams. I mean, the Warriors, their fifth straight NBA Finals appearance. They could be coming to an end though with Klay and with KD and with Cousins being free agents. You got the Raptors making their first ever NBA Finals appearance. They didn't get to the NBA Finals when they had Vince Carter. Remember in that Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan year, they got close a couple times. They were never in the finals in those years either.
LeBron.
Yeah, met LeBron. Yeah,
every time.
LeBron knocked them out three years in a row, and now this with LeBron out of the East. The door was open. They trade for Kawhi, and now they're here in the NBA Finals, and it should be a really good series, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And real quick, where do you think all the fans were of the Raptors that when they traded DeRozan for Kawhi were like, what are you doing? Like, he's homegrown talent. In terms of the draft.
Homegrown, but Kawhi's a much better player.
In terms of, and they're like, what going on? And even Kyle Lowry, like, he wasn't happy about that either. Now, we go to Kyle Lowry now and be like, listen, I'm saying you were boys with DeMar DeRozan. You got to understand right now, like, clearly you were in the wrong. Like, there's levels to this.
Yeah.
Kawhi, maybe DeRozan. Like, listen, it ain't even close. And I'm saying you're boys with him. It's on another level. You just got to understand that.
Absolutely. So we're going to shift over to the Stanley Cup Finals, and Game 1 was last night, and a little bit of a scare for the Bruins at the beginning. I mean, the Blues took a 2-0 lead, but the Bruins, right after the Blues scored that goal, the Bruins got that next goal, and then to make it 2-1, and then McAvoy in the second period tied the game 2-2. They got another goal. I can't remember who scored that third goal. Who was his name? Crowley. Only Bruin fans would know who he is. And the Bruins got the empty netter to clinch the game and win Game 1 of the series. Exciting game last night, but it looks like, from what I saw last night, it looks like the Bruins are the better team. I mean, the Bruins were not good in the power play at all. They went like 1 for 5 in the power play and still scored 4 goals and won the game 4-2. It really, to me, looks like the Bruins are the better team. And this series could be over. I'd say maybe I picked Bruins in 6, but it could be over in 5.
It definitely could, but the thing is about the Blues, of what I've kind of learned from this team the last couple months watching the playoffs, is that they bounce back from adversity very well. Now, I don't really remember getting beat down, like, getting dominated like they did really in the second and third period. But like against Winnipeg, one of the games, Jordan Bennington gave up like 4 goals. He comes back, gives up, they're down 2-1 if I'm not mistaken. And he comes out and he shuts the door on them. I know he did play well. He gave up 3 goals, but that at least was tilted towards him. And then also when they lost, and then also in the Western Conference Finals, the Blues lost in double OT on that controversial hand pass. In double OT, they lost 5-4. They went down 2-1, and then they won 3 straight. And I know the Sharks, they had some injuries and all that, but they looked like the better team those last 3 games by a long shot.
Especially the last 2. Ooh. Yeah, looking at the scores now.
Yeah, they dominated the last 2 games. So, I do think we're going to see a much better effort by the Blues. I think about this too. Maybe the Bruins haven't played in almost 2 weeks. That all that adrenaline finally just came out, and you just,
you saw it was clearly different just from the second to the first period.
Yeah, So I don't know, but I do think the Blues will be able to make this series. I'm kind of hoping they make it serious because I do want to see like a 6-7 game series. I'm hoping the Blues do one, but after last night, wasn't looking too good.
The problem with the Blues is the fact that, or possible problem, is that I feel like it's, now they have skill on their team. Obviously, Tarasenko, he's insanely talented, but I feel like it's more of like brute strength versus this fast skill fancy players for the from the Bruins. And I just saw, like, once you saw the first period, I mean that was rusty. That was ugly. It wasn't exactly great out there. And you saw that first goal that they got on the scramble play, and then Brayden Schenn just makes a nice shot top shelf, and goes on one other. I'm thinking, okay, bounce back, please, like give me something. And it didn't exactly even end that great in the first period. But then in the next goal, and then that second goal, for the love of God, Pastrnak, communicate to your teammates. Okay, because obviously I can't exactly repeat what I said when I saw him turn it over, because I was just like, what? Because that's not good when and not even your goalie knew where the puck was, because he's thinking someone's coming around, and it was just yeah. It's like you can't be making that. That's rookie stuff right there. And then they make that comeback, and it's like, thank God. And Binnington, when I was looking up and I remember seeing a graphic on it last night, the last 3 games before this, he gave up 1 goal in Game 4 against the Sharks, 0 in Game 5, and then in Game 5, and then 1 in Game 6. So he gave up 2 goals in 3 games against a team like the Sharks in the conference finals. Pretty impressive. I take that all day, every day. But I think it just shows at this point that there's levels to this in terms of the skill and stick handling and all that, because they have Tarasenko, who's obviously one of the best players in the league and can do like a lot of the stick handling stuff. But you see the different, like the trades that the Bruins made at the deadline. I believe they traded for Coyle. He's, putting in time, giving you good minutes. And then Michael Johansson, I always forget how to pronounce it. But there was a guy that they traded from the Devils. He's the guy that had massive injury when he first got him, but he's becoming one of the better players on their team. And I felt like that move that he had, where they almost got a goal where it ended up hitting, I think, crossbar, I mean, it was just like, oh, that was heartbreaking. But he's providing great skill, when he comes into the game. And the fact that they have, I think they have one of the best lines, if not the best, in terms of we have Pastrnak, Bergeron, and Marchand on the same line. You have talent everywhere, and you have two vets with, this, young buck with, Pastrnak. And then they're not really lacking anything with the Bruins. They obviously have a great goalie. Rask is good. Defense, they have depth at it. Now, you saw kind of the ugly injury with Chara where it looked like, he took a slap shot probably, I'd say probably about here on his wrist, and then all of a sudden his skin just split and he was in pain. I mean, Chara's not he ain't soft. So the fact that he was in that much pain, it's a little worrisome, but I just think, right now with the Blues, you got to bounce back. Listen, we had a great first period, second, third. We kind of they were not that good. Now it's adjustments. It's playoffs. It's all about adjustments. What are your adjustments going to be? And now, I think it's still going to be a good series. I think it's probably going to go. If I had to lean towards to 6 right now, just because that goalie, he kind of surprised me because I thought he would kind of shrink a little bit because it's a rookie. Obviously, at that point, he's never been in this thing. I thought he might give up something in terms of 6 to 7 goals, and really he only gave up 3. Obviously, the fourth one was an empty netter, but so he definitely impressed me. So off of him, I think it's probably going to go about 6 games right now.
So is it true the Blues were the worst team in the NHL in January?
34 points on June 3rd. They had 56 the last couple of months.
Yeah, they fired their coach. The guy's an interim head coach.
Oh, really? I heard they said interim head coach.
Yeah,
he's the interim. You know what this is the one terrible thing real quick about this. Okay, so I think, because I told you earlier, but the Blues record against the Bruins in Stanley Cups games is 9-9. They're 0-9. They have not won a game.
Did they play? They played in 1970, right?
1970, and then some other point. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It was one of those 2 years.
Yeah, they have not won a game against the Bruins in the Stanley Cup, which is brutal. And the fact that in the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's the second. I believe it's the second worst record. From a team versus another team. The only other worst record is the Canadians against the Blues as well, who the Blues are 0-12 against the Canadians. So it's like, I don't know what it is with the Blues in the playoffs. Apparently it's like, oil and water. It don't mix. But, in fact, I can't remember off the top of my head what his name is, but 55 from the Blues. I saw, I kind of pay attention to him just because he kind of reminds me of when the Bruins first got Chara in terms of his just pure slap shot power. It is just brutal if you tend to block it. That guy he's launching like it's a missile coming at you, and it's just like, if you want to block it, good luck, but you're probably breaking something. So, and I think it might have been Marcus Johansson or Michael Johansson. I keep butchering that first name, who blocked it, and it kind of looked like he was limping a little bit, but it worked out. But I think we're going to be looking towards a good series. I think, but you got to at least show your Blues that you can show some fight other than past the first period, because otherwise, if you don't, this might be a hot 4-0 again.
It could potentially be. Looking at last night, it looked like they got off the quick start, but in the second and third period, it looked like they kind of fell apart. And then 5 power plays given up. Is that? I don't really watch hockey. Is that a lot of power plays in one game?
5. I would say the average about 3-4ish. I would say
it's a decent amount, but it's a fact that it was dumb penalties, like the holding one towards the end of the game. The Bruins played like safe as can be on that power play, but that one was pretty bad. Then there was the cross check on what was his face on the Bruins. So
he drilled somebody. I can't remember.
I tried to on top of his head, but it was a blatant little cross check in the back when the puck is down. It's like when you try to throw the actual cheap shot, but you put a little too much oomph into it. And so that was just a dumb penalty. The Bruins did get away.
There was that one really dumb penalty where the Bruins scored, right?
It was. I think it might have been. Yeah, it might have been that cross check
on that one.
Although the Bruins, I will say they definitely got lucky with when they were down on but they were on the penalty kill. And they were up 1 goal with it's like 7-8 minutes left, and Chara slashed the guy's stick, and then ended up breaking. That should be a penalty, and they should be up, it should be a 5-on-3 power play for the Blues, and I'm gonna say it, the Blues probably scoring, and so then right then and there it's tied. But And you can say a little bit after that, then there was a little scuffle with Krugman, who was on the Blues, where you probably could have called a penalty on the Blues guy, and you see just Torrey Krug just go haul it down the ice, and that's Bruins hockey right there. That is Bruins hockey with no helmet and going down and smacking the guy, and it's just not caring. Like that crowd was hyped after that. Like they were happy they saw, because Krug couldn't hit, but he's more of the he's more of a shooter, I would say. Yeah. And in fact, he laid a good shot on that guy. I'm liking that. To me, like I said, that's Bruins hockey. I like it, but yeah, scary in the first period. I'm thinking, what is going on? This is not what I signed up to watch. It's just, but it was their rust and almost 2 weeks off with the inter squad scrimmage, which is like whoop-de-doo.
Sold out.
Yeah, sold out, which, they still make some good money off that, but, if everyone's, but hey, you got to bounce out. And again, playoffs, all about adjustments. How are you going to adjust? Blues going to adjust? And, we're going to see now, but I think last off, Pastrnak, you got to start shooting more, dude. You got to stop being so passive. Your skill set is shooting. That is what you do best, and it's not even close with anything else. Shoot the puck. Like, defense ain't your specialty, passing ain't your specialty, shooting is your specialty. Shoot. Stop passing. Shoot. They pass you to the thing. You have a one-time opportunity on that off wing. Shoot it, please, because you're getting on my nerves.
So, yes, the Bruins have had a really, really good year. Yeah, they're in the Stanley Cup Finals, but don't you consider them a little lucky that they didn't have to face the Lightning, or they didn't have to face the Capitals in this run? Do you consider them a little bit lucky there?
Yeah, well,
Lightning.
Lightning don't suck.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, because you do think about it. After Toronto, they did play 18 to Columbus. They did play 17 to Carolina, but that's the NHL playoffs, though. It's not like the NBA where upsets never happen. There are once in a blue moon you see an NBA upset. In hockey, it kind of happens more, but because the Lightning, then I was really looking forward to maybe seeing the Bruins and the Lightning. Like that would have been a great series to watch,
especially with the insane season that the Lightning had.
Yeah, like
crazy.
I would love that the Lightning rocks. Because being a Ranger fan, half the former Rangers are on that team now, so. I was kind of happy about it.
Yeah, like all the former Rangers are on the Lightning now.
Oh, yeah, there's like 8 of them.
Callahan, is Girardi on there? McDonough?
I think Girardi, yeah.
Was it like the Tampa Bay Rangers?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't happy, so it's true that they got the 8 and 7 seed in the last 2 rounds, but, I guess they got there. Like Carolina and Columbus got there. They did what they had to do, so you can,
Well, think about it. Tampa had the most points by far. They were 128, had 128 points. The Bruins, people forget that if you just take the Lightning out of the equation for a split second, Bruins were tied for the most points in the league.
Yeah.
So it's not like, they ain't scrubs out there. Obviously, the Lightning had an insane season, but it's one of those things where if you catch a hot goalie, that's a lot of times what wins series. In series, the playoffs, and maybe even the Stanley Cup run. I have an insane goalie. You can't score.
Look at St. Louis. Jordan Bennington ganging the call up, 34 points, and he went 25.
24 and 5, I think it was before in the regular season.
Who was the good regular season team in the West?
We
know it wasn't the Blues.
Calgary had 107 points. They were in the Pacific. Let's see, it was the top 3 real quick. There was Nashville with 100. Winnipeg, St. Louis had 99. Calgary had 107. San Jose had 101. So that's about your. Then there's a decent little drop off. But yeah, it's about your.
Yeah, but the Bruins again, they dodged Calgary, they dodged Washington, they dodged Tampa Bay. How many teams in a playoff run are going to dodge all those good teams?
Not you, but St. Louis, I think, has been the hottest team in the NHL.
Hottest, but they're the worst team in hockey.
They were
in January.
But I'm saying, but they've been the hottest teams in January. They had 56 points the final 3 months.
Honestly, I think the fact that they just hot teams in the NHL it's literally like when the playoffs start right before they start. You think, well, who's going to be the hot team? It's kind of like the Capitals from last year. Obviously, the Capitals were an insane team last year. They got hot. It was just Ovechkin's year to finally win that Stanley Cup, which I was at least happy. At least finally get that man a trophy. Good Lord. But it's just, the Lightning. I think the Lightning were kind of feeling themselves in the first round. They were feeling themselves. And I think we're the best.
Yeah, well,
and then they didn't show up.
What they did before Game 1?
I think remember you telling me.
Yeah, they brought the Stanley Cup trophy to the pregame party outside this before Game 1. They already brought the cup. Nice shot.
And they didn't even win a playoff game, even a game in the playoffs.
There's certain things like traditions you don't do in hockey. That's one. Yeah. The other one, if I'm not mistaken, is I forgot what the name of the trophies, but like whoever wins, each conference, you don't touch the trophy.
Yeah.
For the most part, which I think both the Blues and the Bruins did. They didn't touch the trophy, but I honestly think the Lightning were feeling themselves too much, and they got smacked.
Oh yeah,
big time. It was pretty ugly, and then obviously you've had great playoffs. So honestly, I think right now. Were these the two best teams throughout the year? Obviously, no, especially with the Blues. We all know that. But I think it might be the two. It's probably the two hottest teams. I think in the playoffs, the Bruins have been the most consistent, team. Obviously, they smacked. Was the Blue Jackets? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Carolina. And then Blue Jackets before that. Was a pretty good series. And obviously, Maple Leafs. Bruins and Maple Leafs. It's always going to be a mess. But I think it's the two hottest teams. Tuukka Rask has been playing out of his mind. It's just it is what it is. Now it's with the hockey. It's like I said. It's really all about. It's like how baseball is with pitching in the playoffs. If you have good pitching, you can just ride that to a World Series.
Like a good goalie could ride you to a Stanley Cup. Like Tim Thomas in 2011 with the Bruins, or Henrik Lundqvist in 2014 with the Rangers. Got to the Cup because of him. Yeah,
it's just insane how much, because obviously like if a goalie's only giving up 1-2 goals maybe. It's not going to be that terribly difficult to win a game because you got to get only a couple goals and you're right there for a victory. So right now, like if you're the Blues, you're like, okay, like we came out fresh. We saw their skill because you saw skill from everyone on the Bruins. Whether it was like Nordstrom, Hansen, McAvoy, Krug, Chara, Marchand, Bergeron, Pastrnak. You saw it from everyone. Now you got to see, now if you're the Blues, you got to make adjustments. The one thing I'll say that the Bruins got to start doing, and I remember even the announcers saying this, was that when you dump the puck in, you want to dump it in. You don't want to dump it in along the boards because at that point the goalie is going to be able to stop it and then he can go left, right, or wherever he wants to. You want to play it off the boards, off the glass, because obviously those little stanchion part and potentially could take a wacky bounce, and also it's a little higher, so it's going to be a lot easier if you could stop it on level ice than if you're trying to stop it out of midair. Good luck with that. So and then then you can do your dump and chase like that. But right now I'm liking what Rask is going to be from the Bruins. I need Pastrnak, for the love of God, shoot the puck, please, because like that's your skill set. Do it ASAP, please. One-timers, just take them. What's the worst that could happen? They say that, woo, what they do. But if you're the Blues, you gotta make a difference because they love to get their defensemen up into the offense. So not just kind of sitting back playing defense. They like to mix them up and, kind of give you a bunch of different, looks and, rotations, and hopefully, you break on defense. But the Bruins got lucky because it could have been a lot worse, especially in that first period. That big goal by Clifton, it was Clifton for the first one. Got him back into playoff mode and got the fans back into it. So right now, 1-0 lead. We'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, we'll see how the series goes, and we'll definitely be talking about that next week. But this part of the program, Justin's going to like this because we're actually going to talk some college basketball at the end of May. So it's weird that we're talking college basketball, but RJ Hampton, a top 5 prospect, is foregoing playing college basketball to play for the New Zealand Breakers of the Australian National Basketball League. Now, Justin, did he commit anywhere?
No, he was supposed to. It was originally supposed to commit today. It was either Kentucky, Texas Tech, or Memphis were the top 3. Yeah, Texas Tech. Or no, Kentucky was on there too. I think instead of Memphis, it was Kentucky because Memphis didn't have any scholarships left. But it's is this now the thing is for college basketball, and I know they're going to start. The NCAA has mentioned maybe starting to give players benefits, which maybe smart because I don't know, and I think it depends on how many of these kids actually want to play college basketball. Some of these guys just want to go make money somewhere. Or now he's going to go make money instead of having to sit in school for...
Well, if the NCAA starts giving him money, it ain't going to be big money off the bat.
No, it's not.
They're going to give him a little sprinkle.
Yeah, it's not. And it's something that they work their way up to. Mm-hmm. But, it kind of, it kind of hurts college basketball because now you're losing the star power.
It'll hurt the rate. Definitely hurt the ratings.
It definitely will, but...
Especially come tournament time.
Yeah, it will. But as we've seen, especially this year, that the freshmen start, as we've seen with Duke, all the freshmen, these one and done guys, they all don't work together.
It's a nice story till it comes down to crunch time.
Yeah, and then we see the senior build teams like the Virginias, the Texas Techs get in there, Auburn, and the Michigan State. So all four of those teams aren't really one and done. They may, Michigan State I think has one going, so freshman going. So it kind of we'll see if it starts a trend. I hope not, but it totally could. But and I was surprised that he didn't even really wasn't talking about that. So to me, it was kind of surprising because he didn't even mention really overseas that was a idea. So he kept that quiet. So to me, he got me by surprise.
Because if you think about it from a college basketball player's mind, just put in if you're him for 2 seconds, you think, okay, I could go play college basketball, whatever good college, any top college was probably offering him a scholarship if they had one. You could go there for 1 year, and we all know they ain't there for academics. Let's not even try that. We all know that's we all know that's not what it's for. They're there for college ball to go to the NBA. So you can play for 1 season in college. You ain't making any money off of it. NCAA is making money hand over fist, millions of dollars off of you. You ain't getting a penny out of it. If you do, you're suspended. Your college is probably going to get in trouble. And, your reputation in college basketball is going to be tarnished. Or you could go overseas, Australia, China, probably Antarctica if they had a, pro team there. Make money, good money over there. Train like a pro because there's certain, if I'm not mistaken, there's certain limits on how often you can train and practice and all that in college. Yeah. And pros, there's not. If you want to practice 20 hours a week while the other 4 hours are playing games, you can. So you're gonna practice like a pro, train like a pro, get paid like a pro. Why wouldn't you? Honestly, if you put it that way, why wouldn't you? That's just the thing. It's you've seen a lot of people, especially I believe the example he gave was Luka Doncic. I mean, you saw the guy's young. He came over and balled out. I think he's pretty easy the rookie of the year. Saw what the guy did. He played overseas. It's why wouldn't you want to do that? Just make money off of it instead of the NCAA, making money over it, because we all know they're corrupt as can be. Yeah. I just tell them, bye. It's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see because it doesn't happen to every player. Didn't Moutier do the same thing? Brandon Jennings did the same thing. So we've seen guys forego that was just one and done thing to make some money for 1 year, then go into the NBA draft. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting, but it's going to hurt college basketball this year.
Yeah, it totally will. And I know Memphis got 7 guys coming, but he's a top 5 prospect. There's a lot of hype around this guy being he probably will be a top 5 pick, maybe going overseas. Now, maybe he will be the number 1 pick, time will tell for that, but totally losing a top 5 kid like this, especially, I think it may be, because I think the leader, if I'm not mistaken, was Kentucky, I think. So there, Kyle Perry lost, I think that would have been his top recruit right there.
And the way you get the NCAA, this is the way you get NCAA money to pay people. You have the top players, let's just say, because we're talking about college basketball, you get the top, prospects. They go overseas. That hurts their ratings. That hurts their money. And similarly, once you hurt their pockets, they'll be willing to give a little to make millions back. Yeah. So that's the only way you're ever going to get a chance of this even happening is if you hurt their pockets. So other than that, it just let's say they did this and it didn't hurt their pockets, and NCAA ain't changing a single thing. They don't care. Yeah. Why would they care? like I said, they're making millions.
Yeah.
They're corrupt. They don't care. It's like they'll say, "Oh yeah, we care about the athletes. We want them to get a good, some good learning." That's a load of shenanigans. We all know that ain't true. Yeah. You could smell the stuff coming off of that statement from a mile away. We all know that ain't true. Everyone knows that's true. People making that statement working for the NCAA know it's not true. So stop trying to be something that you're not. Like, just stop, please.
Definitely. So we're going to wrap up the show today talking a little bit of baseball. We'll talk a little bit of the Yankees, and we'll talk about some series this weekend. We'll start with the Yankees. The Yankees in great shape right now. 2 games in first place. They're playing really, really, really well. But there was a little bit of a complaint yesterday. I got a text message from Justin about the opener, and we'll discuss that. So even though the Yankees
but Chad Green.
Yeah, but even though the Yankees have 3 starters on the DL right now with Severino, Paxton, and CeCe, you still don't like the opener. Why don't you like the opener? So you'd rather just you don't trust the bullpen, but you'd rather have like Chance. All right, I give you credit. You want to give Chance Adams a start. Okay, that's fine. But you don't. Why don't you like the opener? It's worked for the Rays, and for number 3 or 4 starters, it works.
It's bush. That's what it feels like.
I understand the small market teams doing the Tampa, the KCs, because they don't really have 4 or 5 guys. And I understand the Yankees have 3 guys on the DL right now, or IL.
Well, I'm just gonna keep saying DL. Yeah, that's what. Although I think Paxton's supposed to come back.
He's coming back Wednesday. He's starting CC Sunday. And then the thing is, it's like Chad Green's out of I'm not complaining about the Yankees bullpen. The Yankees bullpen's the best bullpen in the game. Chad Green with an ERA of 12. It's like, I don't know. I'm like, Cessa hasn't even been that bad this year. I'm like, give Cessa 3-4 innings. Look at Chance Adams goes 4. I don't care if it's 4. It's like he only gives you 4 innings. That's fine. You can piece it together after that. Or Domingo Acevedo.
At least having someone that's a legitimate starting pitcher.
Yeah, I don't care if they only go 3-4 innings. This bullpen is so good. Just give guys a shot.
Yeah, like David Hale got 4 innings. If you give that to like Adams or what Acevedo, is that how you pronounce it? Big 6'7" guy, or even Luis Cessa. Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like it for a big mark like the Yankees. Like the Yankees shouldn't be using an opener strategy. The Rays. Yeah, they can use it. They really only have 3-4 starters. So go ahead.
Because the Yankees have the payroll to have, 5 great starters if they wanted to. Yeah. The Rays don't.
Yeah. So
it feels like it's minor league, bush league stuff is what they're doing. Now, I mean, it worked, especially that first time where I think they won 15 to 7 or something. What it was
they did.
Lost
a game when they started an opener.
I just don't like it. And then it's kind of like you just kind of tax the. I know they're only going an inning or 2, but then it's like I don't know. I've just never been a fan of it. I'd rather see the bullpen in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. Why not give at least even because Sesson's actually been pretty good this year. Give him 3-4 innings. Yeah, Chance Adams. Give Acevedo a little bit. It's like you're having even if this the way they had it, if you completely all you had to do was just switch because it went Green, Hale, I can never pronounce the last name. Mr. I can strike out Babe Ruth, then Canely, and then Britton, and then Chapman. If you just switched Hale and Green, I'd be fine with that. It's like Chad Green didn't do bad at all. I mean, he struck out 3, all 3 batters he faced on 14 pitches. I mean, that's pretty good, but it's just it just seems like minor league stuff. It's just something that the Yankees shouldn't be doing. I mean, it's working cool, but I've had the problem with that I don't want them to even tinker with the possibility of it them falling in love with it and then wanting to do it and come down big games towards the end of the regular season or even the possibility of it happening in the playoffs. It's just don't do it. If you really need a starting pitcher that bad, just go sign Dallas Keuchel.
Which I think is going to happen June 3rd.
At least try that. Say buy Hap. Or maybe relegate him a little bit or 6-man rotation, something with him because he has not been the same nearly as he was last year. But I'm going to do it. It's just, I don't like it. I just don't like it. Just start off with a starting pitcher.
Even though they're 3-0 with it, you don't like it.
Just sort of Hale before and then go. I'd rather see my starter go at least 4 innings with the bullpen.
Because why would you have the opener go 1 inning and then your next guy go 4?
Yeah.
Why not just have that guy go 4?
Yeah, and then have Green. Then the thing is too.
I don't get it.
And then finally, Chad Green actually pitches well, and you pull him. It's like he finally actually did something. Now you're gonna just take him out. It's like, ride him another inning, see what he can do. I'm like, the guy's finally pitching. Go ahead. You're 12. Yankees for opener. I'm not a big fan. I don't think I ever.
Even though they're 3-0, you're not a big fan.
No, because who they play? The Padres, Keys.
Okay. 2 of those 3 teams have winning records. Actually, the only team that doesn't have a winning record. The only team that doesn't have a winning record is KC.
Yeah, but you think? Yeah, but we think the Padres are gonna be anything that decent this year.
No.
I mean, next couple years down, they can be a nasty
KC
team.
Next couple years,
they ain't gonna be it this year. Yeah. So I don't. I'm just like, actually, like if you're gonna use Chad Green in the situation, if he has that good of a first inning, just play him a second inning.
Yeah.
And then if you can see him struggling on the first batter, then take him out on the next pitcher.
And then the thing is too, this is all planned out for the game. So the problem. So what happens if Chad Green did get rocked? I guess you probably throw Hale. Who's after him? Like, what happens if Canely gets rocked or Britton? Yeah. It's like your plans are all kind of messed up. But
you literally have a plan in your head. It's gonna go boom, 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 boom. But then if a monkey wrench and somebody, you go boom, boom. It's like, what do we do now? Well, let's go with him. It ruins your whole plan, and then it turns into a possibility of it being a mess. So.
Yeah, so we'll talk about some of the series this weekend. We'll start off with the Red Sox and the Astros. Astros took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. Astros won on Friday and Saturday 4-3. Chris Sale lost another game. The Red Sox did get to Ozuna on Saturday night, tying the game, but the Astros won in the 9th inning. But then Sunday, the Red Sox were able to beat Verlander, and then they were able to win yesterday too. So I think we learned from the Red Sox is it's a good hitting team. Starting pitching still struggles. Bullpen still struggles a little bit. I still think that their offense is better than the Rays, but their offense it could be even better than the Yankees with the injuries. But pitching and bullpen is definitely not better. And for the Astros, they're still the best team in baseball, in my opinion.
Yeah, right now, the Astros are the best team. They were lucky to get to Verlander.
Did you work that game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So the Astros made 2 errors behind Verlander, which did not help because I think he only gave up. I think only 1 or 2 runs were. No, all 3 were earned. They made 2 errors behind him. Okay, but and it wasn't Verlander the best starter. He only had 6 Ks, but it wasn't after what he did against the White Sox last week with 12. Devers took him deep. Rafael Devers is
he's playing
a breakout year.
He's playing great. I mean, he's got to get more power numbers in, but average wise, hitting like 330.
Yeah, in last year there was a time where people thought maybe he was going to go down AAA, and him and Michael Chavis have really kept the flow. JD Martinez. Now he's 2 for his last 20 or something. Actually, no, he hit 2 bombs yesterday, so he's kind of off the cold streak right there.
Have Devers teach Jackie Bradley Jr. how to hit.
He's actually starting to get a little bit better.
Is he past the Mendoza line finally? What is that, 200 or something like that?
Yeah, Bradley at 160.
Bradley cannot hit at all.
No, he had 2 doubles yesterday. He got the shift, so it's like the guy's got somewhat speed.
Well, thank God that guy can feel that of his mind.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might be double A or something.
Actually, again, Friday night, game on the line after somebody hit a home run 9th inning, game on the line, 2 outs. Tries a drag bunt, and he fouled it off. Decided to swing away, but then he got out anyway. But that was a weird concept. I didn't understand that one. But they're starting to play a little bit better. Cleveland is that's a totally different Cleveland team than last year. So
especially with Kluber, he's still out, right?
He's still out. Yeah.
So. They looked good yesterday. They got Price on the mound tonight, so they could definitely win the series tonight.
And the thing is, Price left the game on Saturday.
Flew like symptoms, so he only threw 15. I guess he said he wanted to go more, but Corey didn't want him to get, because I guess he wasn't 100%, so Corey wanted to take him out so he get himself hurt again. But
yeah.
So, They're playing well.
The problem with the Red Sox, if you end up facing the Astros in the playoffs, you're losing strictly because of that. Their starting pitching is going to shut down. I don't want to say shut down, but limit your offense to an extent. And their Red Sox bullpen, if you want to bet on that, then good luck. Then especially if they play the Yankees, especially if the Yankees are full strength, they're going to have Severino, Tanaka, CeCe, Paxton, maybe Keuchel, who knows, we'll see. But possibly 4 like pretty good pitchers that will limit that offense. Again, the bullpen, that good luck, especially with the Yankees batting wise if they're at full strength. But the Red Sox, you're kind of in the middle. Like, you're not like too sad about it. You're not too mad. You're not too happy. You're kind of like, it could be a lot worse, but it could be a lot better because it's like from last year that was one of the better teams you'll see, period, in terms of just baseball and history. Yeah. It was insanely talented, up to down. Their their players they picked up. I'm just gonna not try to say that word. The players that they picked up, later in the year panned out. Different moves Cora made in the playoffs panned out. Right now, it's kind of like last year everything won for them. Right now, it's kind of going the opposite. I mean, thankfully for them, if you're a fan, no one's having a lot of injuries. You're not having that kind of season with like the injuries like the Yankees are having, but you need to start picking. You need to find something. If they don't get, you need to maybe pick up 2 to 3 people maybe come trade deadline, before the trade deadline, for to help out that bullpen. Because if not, I mean, I don't see you making it past ALDS.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
They probably should sign Craig Kimbrell. That should be a move they definitely should make.
They should. I don't.
But then you gotta do it better sooner rather than later, because that rust factor is gonna be there. The guy's gonna have to warm up. What is his middle of the season gonna be? His spring training?
Yeah.
And even that I'd say maybe you sign Kimbrell or someone to be a closer that's just at least decent, and maybe 2 relievers.
Yeah,
something.
They gotta trade for somebody.
Yeah, but like, what do you have to trade? Like, do you have something like, do you have an abundance of people at one position with like a very good young prospect that you could, flip for someone? I don't know. I don't know if they have that level of person, which to get someone that they that they desperately need. But good luck.
Staying in the AL East, we'll talk a little bit about the Rays series this weekend against the Indians, and they took 3 out of 4 from Cleveland. Their starting pitching really good, even though Blake Snell lost. Charlie Morton won. Their offense, Austin Meadows right now, I would say is the AL Rookie of the Year. But looking at the Indians, they're really struggling. Jose Ramirez is struggling. Corey Kluber's on the DL, and you saw yesterday against the Red Sox, they just don't look very good right now, and they're 10 games behind the Twins in the AL Central.
They're bad. They're now they're under 500, 26-47. Last week their homestand is the A's and the Rays. They were 1-6. Cleveland. I thought maybe they could scratch a wild card. I don't see that happening at this point. They got a long road ahead of them. Just the surprise is just Jose Ramirez batting 197 with 4 home runs and only like 15 RBIs. That guy was hitting.
Terrible.
He had 30 RBIs or 30 home runs last year, I think. It's just
it was pretty good year.
It's been a struggle for him. Tampa is really for real. They added a bat or 2 at the trade deadline. This team is going to be very, very. This team's good, but this team will take the next step, and that it will be a very loaded AL East towards going October.
You went wrong. I mean, right there, if you're looking at, make sure I had this right. So 5 teams make the playoffs, right?
Yep.
In the AL. So you have the, 2 teams play for the wild card. So right now it would be, if I'm not mistaken, so it would be Yankees, Twins, Houston, and then it would probably be Tampa would be obviously be one wild card.
It'd be one of them, and then
probably the Red Sox.
Red Sox, yeah.
Red Sox and Oakland, I'd say. I don't know what the tiebreaker is exactly off the top of my head between that.
But I think the Red Sox are better than Oakland, though.
Yeah.
They
are, but I don't know who has the tiebreaker. Yeah, definitely. The Red Sox are.
Even though Oakland's won 10 in a row, but still, I think the Red Sox are better than Oakland.
So you have that. So right now, Cleveland's not even in the playoffs. So it struggles right now. I'm not going to say pack it in, because obviously there's a lot of season, say like one team, gets a ton of injuries, starts struggling, you can make a run. Especially once Kluber comes back, if he ends up being, that level pitcher again, he can give you that boost. But I mean, you're so far back behind the Twins, and they're playing insane. Their run differential was plus 110. That is, let me make sure, that is the best in baseball right now. And I don't even let me quick look through everything. That's 20 That's 20 better than the next closest, which is Houston. That's insane. 110. The next closest is Houston with 90. I mean, that's insane. And the fact that they kind of like they've been getting it wasn't like a 5-year plan to get better. They all of a sudden just shot up and they're an insane team now. So. Cleveland, if you got to make a look at it, I think right now you just got to understand, listen, we ain't winning the division. We got to focus on wild card. You got to just understand that now. Because if you're going to keep pushing for that division, it ain't going to work out well. So, but good luck because it's Strugglesville for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's going to wrap it up for Sports Talk with RKJ this week. For my co-host Justin D'Onofrio and Kyle Galuli, I'm Steve Risser. We'll be back next week talking more NBA Finals, talking more Stanley Cup Finals, recapping the Yanks and Sox, and maybe if Gerald McCoy gets signed, we'll be talking about that. Have a great weekend, everybody.